Alrighty guys, let's get ourselves going. Okay, so we are back with some American Truck Simulator. To be honest, I am absolutely live. Now, of course, if you guys don't know, there's gonna be, if you guys are seeing this, there's gonna be a video coming out sooner or later, where I will be uploading. I haven't uploaded in a while. I have a couple of videos that I need to upload to YouTube, but I also am live, here through things, where I am happy to be live, alright. Alright. Now, let's get myself over to some resting. Now, of course, I wanted to really come out and say a lot of things with you guys that, I am happy. I am happy that I am able to play games. Like, look, I use this as my secondary computer, my primary computer for gaming on Linux. Now, the thing is, there's this thing that, as soon as I can, there's a reason why I haven't switched to Stream Elements. Switched my main computer, my streaming laptop to Linux, is for one reason. First off, the biggest reason why I haven't switched over is because of one reason. Stream Elements is the only thing why I need to absolutely have Stream Elements running. So that's why my main computer has not been switched over. Like, I really am thinking about just dropping in and playing on Linux. Like, that's the thing is like, I want... Now, they tell me I can bypass this. Okay. But I absolutely need to go get some sleep, and this is the best place I can go get sleep. And I love getting the sleep I need. Now, of course, now we can go to the bank. I can easily pay this off right now as we speak. Easily, right off the bat. But I'm gonna actually sleep for a little bit longer, because I don't want to be out at night right now. And we're done there. Okay. We need... to travel up that way. For it. And as we do so, I think what I might do is we need to get some gas as well. And so I'm gonna tell you, like, I have been a fan of just being away from Windows. Being able to, not completely yet, I have, if Linux supported Stream Elements supported Linux right off the bat, I would absolutely, like, all that Stream Elements has to really do is just basically just start releasing the content on their platform. It's so simple and easy. Like, Linux actually is starting to get that support. You know, and I think that's what's gonna be a thing, is like Linux is gonna start picking up. I'm seeing a lot of people jumping over to Linux. So simple, just shifting over to Linux, and I've like, I'm not somebody that absolutely takes, this lady does not have absolutely switching over completely. I can't do that. Like I said, I can't do that with Stream Elements, but you can. It's easy to switch. If you are thinking about building a computer, don't go get Windows right away. Like, if you are somebody that's brand new to computers, don't go out and buy a Windows. Just don't. Don't go out and buy Windows just because Windows is support, just because, you know, don't be a Debbie Downer. If you are a computer with a computer technology, like, what you should really do is you should really, if you are a tech YouTuber, okay, what you should do is be ahead of the curve, jump onto Linux, switch to Linux, use Windows, use them both, and start taking that initiative to do it. Now, for me, I'm not a tech YouTuber. I'm not one of those people that goes out there and watches YouTube people. Yeah, I need to get the, thanks William 956, and you gotta think about spending your time figuring out. It's like for me, it's like I don't care. I'm new to it, but I'm just saying give that opportunity to make the decision your choice. Don't go out and say, oh well, I'm gonna just go and use Windows because Windows is the most predominant case. Double look at what you use every day. Like always have dual computers. Like have a second. Like if you are somebody out there, always go with having Linux, having God, that's full. Like I always say, don't just pick a system. Don't just go out and say, "Oh, I'm going to pick Mac because, you know, Mac's so seamless." Well, you have options. Okay. You have the option to choose. You have that option today, and that's what I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of big fan of having the opportunity to make a decision, to make a choice, giving that freedom, the freedom to choose, giving that freedom to choose your decision. You don't have to go out and buy a Linux or go out and buy a computer. And make that your whole life, make your whole decision on I'm gonna go Linux only because it's not a dead end up here. It's like what? It's like it's like I have no. Yeah, it's a dead end, but like it's not a dead end. I don't get it. Why? Why they don't put it, like, if there's like a business or something down here, what you should do is you should have dead end. Now we found the Peterbilt. Like for me, I would actually do it is where you can't go and get service. Like you go and get service. Here you have to basically get a little bit higher into all of that. But we're gonna upgrade. We're gonna upgrade our thing. Its medium is 250 gal. 250 gal. Now we are going to be reducing that, but that's going to go there. But we can upgrade. We got the diamond availability. It's not this one, it's the other one. It's this one down here. It's a lot faster if I do it this way. Now I could do it that way, but I like it the darker color. Now I like to actually have as much chrome as I can. It's dual exhaust. You now have the international. I always like to make sure that I have it set to the international thing. Now, of course, I could say I kind of have to have the folded there. Before there's a reason. Okay. There's the sensor for that. That says oversized load. Now I could easily do this. And easily pay to unlock everything for it, but on it, and we are now okay. Now, there's a couple things that we need to add. Okay. Alright. What else am I missing? I'm gonna see what happens if I remove both of the accessories. I'm gonna go back to truck configurator. Transgender flag there. Let's see what we got for job offers. That's just taking 2 hours to Lewiston, Montana. Not gonna do that. That's a lot. Four hours to take packaged food. Now, of course, it's 64 for that. We have... Actually, I don't care about length. I want to check price this time. Would I be able... Okay. So if we know... that is 41. Okay. Do we have anything... Okay, so it's not too... So if we look at the freight market... we're allowed to take probably... Okay. Huh. Distance. You know what? You know what? We're gonna do this one. Where's the freight market? We're gonna still take this one. I don't care. We're gonna take the, we're gonna take this packaged food. Because I feel like we'll be able to manage to take this. And it's a shorter distance. If I end up, actually, let's do a thing here. Let's go to system. Let's save the game here for today. 5, 7, 16, 20, 25. This will just make sure that we can carry the best load that we can possibly carry. Anyway, shape or form. Thank you for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. Now it's going to tell me to take that way. And I think we will just follow what it's going to tell me to do. I usually follow just the route advisor, unless, you know. You know, one of those things, you know, it's one of those things where, thanks TJ for joining the TikTok live, thank you. It's one of those things where, within a lot of the video gaming space, or a lot of the video game world, you know, when I switched from picking a distro or picking a thing, I just ended up switching. I didn't care. I just was like, I'm happy to get away from Windows. Like, I don't want, like, I'm not a big fan of AI, and I've said this a lot, is I'm not a big fan of it. Doesn't mean that I don't use ChatGPT or use these things to allow for me to get better at some of these things. Don't get me wrong. AI is here to stay. But we can't just rely on AI for everything. We have to be able to, can we figure out our own? I use AI as a tool, as a secondary thing. If I can't figure out something, okay, I will go look online first before I go to ChatGPT. I'll look in Linux forums. I'll do things with that before I hit the ChatGPT. Then I'll hit ChatGPT, or I'll hit a a thing, and it's like, okay, if I can't figure it out, it's like, look, trying to figure out how can I multi-stream, how can I multi-stream. Right now, if I wanted to, thanks Randy's, if I wanted to switch over on my computer, I'd have to wait till Stream Elements decides to support Linux, because I can't. Because first off, I cannot live stream to TikTok through OBS. I can live stream to TikTok through Stream Elements, but not through. But I cannot do it through other means. And going through from one place to another, you know, I said this a lot, but, you know, it's just sad to see that. It's also sad to see that Trump had to, you know, but it's not as sad as seeing yeah, it's not gonna come. The day caps have better maneuverability than this does, but wait a minute. That should be on the map. Yeah, I think I should be able to manage this. Now I know it's gonna have, it's actually, we're going to Great Falls. But what I am going to do is I'm gonna swap around. Alright. Kinda hard to see sometimes with the light's changing yellow. This is where I'm like, okay, the light's gonna change on me like that. When I'm going to the left and there's no cars or something, or to the right, I mean, I'll just do it. Earth Roundup 87. Right. Nice, done. Now, of course, there's a lot of things that are sad. It saddens me that they had to destroy food. That the United States destroyed millions of food, destroyed a bunch of food for people that could have ate for a whole week. And yet, when they did that, you know, Trump is basically being an idiot. You know, he would rather see people go hungry. He would rather see people, if it's not about me, if you don't prop me up, then you're no good to me. You're pretty much, it's like, it's all about me, not about the community. You know, and I've been watching a lot of, lately I've been watching a little bit of people coming in from watching, like, looking inside from a German perspective, reacting to somebody living in the United States for 17 years. and it's like, but then I come in and I look at perspectives from people leaving the United States, and I'm like, a lot of people are leaving. A lot of these people that leave the United States, it's like, you know, there's a lot of people who go out there and and look at and sorry, and there's a lot of things out there. It's like you look at these places. Well, guess what? I didn't realize this. Um, there's a lot of people out there that I didn't realize. You know, I didn't realize that PewDiePie was not American. I thought PewDiePie was an American citizen living in the United States, but PewDiePie is not an American citizen. Absolutely not even lives in America, lives in Switzerland. But there is the thanks Carlo for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. But there is a lot of stuff that really you have to really think about. Can I run this? Can I really be part of a society of these other countries? And of course, you look at Germany. Like, there are some things that Germans can't do that we can do in America. And or like having air conditioning. Like, they have to use fans to do that. It's like you have to you tolerate it. It's like you go in and you come to, it's like you look at the British. Like, I was watching a Brit reacting to American things. Well, you come here to the Midwest, you know, and or going to Alaska or whatnot. No, you idiot people. If that guy's turn, oh well, whatever. But it's like you go and you look at it, and it's like you come to the Midwest where you're expected to have like you come out here, you like, it's cold out here. It's like there's nothing there. It's absolutely cold out here. truly. And you look at that, and it's like, well, then you go to like other places, you wouldn't expect a lot of things to be different there for temperature wise. You know, you go to like Germany, like you go in there, you have to tolerate the heat, because you know, like you go to Germany, you have to have the heat. The heat has to be there. Look at this backed up line. All because of the guy in front of me could not freaking go. Yep, that guy's gonna allow me to go. Nice. I'm not gonna sit there and wait. I'm sick and tired of waiting. But it's like you have to really think about the implications of traveling from one country to another. It's like you have to tolerate the summers. You have to sometimes, like, you go and you live in, like, sometimes you go to Japan, like, you go to Japan, it's like, in some places, like, you have to take the, like, you have to live in the bitter cold, and sometimes you have to have, like, these little things that may keep your house warm, but it may not keep your house entirely warm, and then you got places where, oh, it's cold, well, you have air conditioning, but it's not like you get modern air conditioning like the United States. So you kind of have to deal with that. They don't get washing machine, dryers like we do. Like, there are some things that are just convenient for us to really think about. It's like the United States has some things that are actually worth the effort in some of these other countries, like having a dryer, washing machine and dryer in these countries. Like, that's a must for me in general. Like, but it's like I can deal without the dryer, to be honest. I think it's just a lot. It's just like you have to take into consideration that, okay, you know, we just have to learn to live with what we have and not complain, you know. But we can complain a little bit, you know, when you don't have good air conditioning in your unit. It's like there are some places where you should have air conditioning in general. It's like you go to Germany, like you don't get air conditioning there apparently. Like, I like carpet, but I don't like, to me, it's like it doesn't, it's like I'm kind of one of those people that don't like carpet that much, to really be honest, but I have to deal with it. And it's a lot harder to clean too, to be honest. And it's like you go and you look at, and you go and look at that, and it's like, but then you also look at, you know, like grocery stores and stuff. It's like we have convenient. You go to these grocery stores, you get what you need. You know, you go to these, like, you go to like Walmart, you get your video games, you get your food, you get your technology, all in one place, all in one convenient place, and that's like great. But to be honest, I actually feel like that just stifles business of people owning businesses. Like, yeah, in the United States we have those things, but when you look at it, it's like, but then there are a lot of things where it's like, okay, there are some places where I look at these countries, it's like there are a lot of countries out there that do things better than we do here in America, and there are things that we do better here in America than we do in other countries. But in these countries, like, if you look at it, like, they only have, you know, there's this one video that I watched in, like, Japan, or, because I'm jumping between countries, but you look at Japan, and it's like they have, like, I was watching this video a while back, where there's this apartment that's, like, the size of my room, if that. Like, it's the size of my room, maybe a little bit bigger. And it's like, I could live there. I could live almost anywhere, to be honest. As long as I have a bedroom, as long as I can, you know, have a place to cook, a place to set up my computer, a place to sleep, I'm happy. I am literally happy with even that. You know, not being able to have the luxuries. It's like, I don't care about luxury. I don't care about living the life of a millionaire. I don't care about being somebody that I can live off of for $1 million, to be honest. You know, I don't care about it. All I care about is having the affordability . Trying to stop on a dime is really tough. But it's like I always go out and say, it's like, you have to think about, you know, living in a place, like living in that little yellow tiny place. It's like, okay, what to them, living in a place like that to them is luxury. To some people, living in a place like living in a 4-bedroom apartment is luxury. In some places in the United States, it's like you go and live in a place, well, it's like you want a 4-bedroom apartment, it's like really super big, and you have to deal with all of the pressures and the things that come with living in certain places. It's like going in and having a mansion and having like 10 bedrooms, having all of this. It's like, it's not worth living in a place like that. Where what am I going to do with a place like that when most of the things. Most of the places that I go, it's like, I look at, okay, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say, you know what, I don't need, like, for me, I don't live in places that are big enough to live. It's like, I would rather live in a place of just having comfort, just being able to can I support myself? That's all that matters to me. As long as I have things I need rather than things I want completely, like, then I'm happy. Like, there are some times where, yes, I do have have the thing. It's like most of the stuff, like for me, it's just enough to be able to have the space for video gaming, to be honest. Having a place to cook, and having a place to basically where I can store my clothes, pretty much, like having the clothes that I do, just being able to store it. Wait. There's a Montana? It's a country. That's just interesting. Never knew that there were places like that. It's like I didn't know that there was a Paris, Texas. Didn't know that. Didn't know that there was a York, Canada. Didn't know that there, Great Falls, like, there's places that like, I know that there are places out there that, and it's just weird. It's just interesting to know that there are places like that. But it's, but you step foot into countries with those things. It's like I said, when I look at a place, I don't look at a place to, can I support myself just in general on a small dime? That's all that matters to me. Is if I can spend for a small room like this, a little kitchen, then I'm okay. I'm okay with just having the bare necessities to live. And sometimes living in a 2-bedroom or even a 3-bedroom, to most, is like, I'm living in a 3-bedroom. Well, guess what? That 3-bedroom is like, whatever. Okay. Sometimes that's just luxury to some. To some, having 5 bedrooms is luxury, and to some it's like, it's a necessity, because you're having an 8-bedroom house, like a 4 or 5 bedroom house. It's like you have to deal with and it's like you have to live there because you have to support a family of 8 or whatever, and it's really tough. It's just hard. It's just hard sometimes in places, and sometimes like you go to Japan and it's like, okay, they don't have air conditioning. Well, they do. It's just not the air conditioning that we use, central air. they do have air conditioning. Some countries do have those air units, air conditioning. Like Canada does too. They have sometimes, like some of these countries do have the things that they do, but if you go and look at some countries like Europe does not have the air conditioning. Well, I don't get why they don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure it probably has to do with the like say, oh well, it's because it's the environment. Well, it's like, well, and it's like okay, and days are getting hotter. It's like, why can't you put air conditioning in your homes? Like that central air is something that should be a thing that if your country gets like if your country gets like 90 degrees Fahrenheit or like, you know, high like that, or in countries where it's Celsius, you know, I don't know what the Celsius would be for like 90 degrees, but like if it gets like 30 degrees, like 30 degrees Celsius or even the hot over there, it's like why can't you have those? There are some luxuries that should be apparent to people. What the fruit was that? I thought that car was... Ugh. Where are we at? We're just outside of Lewis. Ugh. So it's like you gotta think about that the freedoms that we have here, like you have the freedom in some regards, but you're losing some of that freedom. We're going back years now. Going back like decades on a lot of the stuff that we are doing. And I'm like, I'm not happy with the going back decades. Because it's like we are regressing in a lot of our freedoms. We are losing a lot of that freedom, like, you know, the freedom to be able to speak our minds. I feel like if you're starting to talk about negatively about Donald Trump, you're pretty much like he's gonna go after you for it, because he doesn't like when people talk negatively or talk bad about him. And it's like bro, it's like you can't. It's like you're like if you cannot take criticism, then what's the purpose in life for you to like if you can't take criticism, then you shouldn't be in office. You shouldn't be in political statements. You shouldn't own a company. You shouldn't be on YouTube making your own videos. Now, of course, if you can't take criticism. Now, there are people out there that, you know, you go and you post something out there, some people just gonna get mad, some just gonna get angry. And sometimes sometimes they're not gonna get the whole truth, but at the same time, thanks Lazar for joining. But then there are times where, oh well, okay, we'll do this, and now I'm happy with a lot of stuff in my own daily life. I am happy with just being able to you know, give you guys great content. I don't care. I do take, sometimes I don't take criticism very well. There are sometimes where, you know, there are things where I won't budge. But it's not like I'm not gonna budge on my politics. I'm not gonna budge being a Democrat, to be honest. I will not change. I will not change unless the Democratic Party decides to go really, really crazy. So you gotta just think about what is the things that these other countries have that we can strive to have some better resemblance. It's like you look at the VAT, like this guy was basically saying, oh, the tax, like you don't like really paying high taxes. Well, like this guy says, oh, he pays 19 in taxes. Well, in VAT tax. And I'm like, okay, but you pay 19 in VAT tax, but you also got to realize that you may pay 10% here in the United States on sales tax or whatever, but then you also got to factor in that some of these states have income tax that a lot of people don't seem to really understand. Is that you have income tax, then you have to factor that in at the end of the month, at the end of the year, for your income and whatnot, and it's like, our social services not being taxed enough. It's like you pay 10%, but we are losing gonna lose our Medicare. Medicaid is going down now because we cannot afford to pay it because and it's like you look at the United States in the sense of and I'm telling you where I'm gonna tell you where I got this from. I got this from Chris Reacts, the German guy that's kind of like that, but like he doesn't want to pay the 19%, but your 19% pays for universal health care, pays for a lot more than actually you realize. That you use that to better your life. Like you don't have to worry about going to the doctors. Doctors, or you have more vacation time. I know what I'm doing. I was supposed to... Actually, cannot? No. I'll do it. I'm gonna go up here and do this. Because if I turn to the right, I'm not gonna... And it's like here in America, you have to go, work to achieve everything. And I'll tell you, sometimes the American dream, like, you look at that and it's like, well, there are other countries out there that have it worse than we do. Like, Japan is a work country as well. You know, they have more work. They do a lot more work for hours and hours on end. They have to rely on their work for whatever. You know, they rely on, they go to work Monday, they go to work, sometimes they have a lot longer hours than we do. You know, yeah, they might have late night hours, but in like some countries it's like you don't get to go out very often. Well, that's not a you know, they're more of like a quiet country, but actually, like, we're not the only country that really takes our nightlife serious. Seriously, it's like you go look at Japan. Japan has a lot of nightlife scene. Like, they have a nightlife scene, and they have, and their country's like a lot. To me, feels like they're a lot better than you know, typical thing. So it's just like, it's just like you can't just rely on and say, you know, you look at that and it's like, and you gotta realize that every country's gonna be different. West, where's, okay, gas is way out there. But it's like you can't just say this country is a good country, this country is a great country, this country is a better country. There's no one country that's gonna be better than any. I'm just coming down here to explore a little bit. So you can't just rely on and say, oh, this country is better than X country, or this country is better than Y country, because that country, you know, there's going to be good things about it, there's going to be bad things about each country. You know, I wonder if, like, you know, one of the biggest things that I always So I really think that you should be required, instead of being able to hide it online, like, I think you should be required to go to a recruitment agency. This is the Big Sky Country. Okay. Now, we are here. Let's go to the photo mode. Photo settings. Okay. So it's just like you can't just go out there and assume that the United States is actually, like, people who go and look out at the it's like, yeah, you pay a smaller amount of taxes, but then you lose the opportunity of free healthcare. It's like, you want a free healthcare? Go get your free healthcare in your home country, in your country. Don't come to the United States because you think that you're going to be able to make that American dream. The American dream is not what it used to be. Okay, it used to be where the American dream used to be a fantastic thing. And it may still be there, but it may not be as what it used to be. Where you come here to allow for you to have the best in the country, allow you to do what you want to do. You can't do everything you want to do. It's like, you come in here, it's like, oh, you can't go outside and drink. It's like, you can't drink at 16 or 18 or whatever, and it's like, but then again, they allow for, a lot of things that you can't do in your country. Now, of course, if you go to Japan, some things, like, they are cracking down on going to be drinking outside. Of course. Because it's like, you're not supposed to go to these countries are not like big huge party countries. They want to be quiet. They want to keep things. It's like, you go look at the subway and things. It's like, you shouldn't be talking out loud in these should not be talking out loud in the subway or in things like that, and you can get yourself in trouble. But it's not. It's not. It's like you are. It's like you use your inside voice, and it's like you're supposed to use your inside voice in the United. Like I've learned that you're supposed to use it in just in general, but for whatever reason, I always send. It's not me. It's like, it's me. It's where I like that if I get so excited about something, I just happen to be so excited that I'm just gonna raise my voice at any point. Doesn't matter if I am, you know. That's why I love it, and I don't like listening to, you know. Thanks Brady Ace for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. Alright. Now, I'm probably not gonna change my cab, to be honest. It'll be mostly, I'll upgrade a lot of my stuff to having better engine, better thing. Let's go to the Coca-Cola thing. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's go to jobs, freight market. I always do the freight market before I do external. Price. That's a 10-hour trip. I don't have a 10-hour trip lengthwise. No, we could take the skidder. Random Misiola. That's going to Sydney. It's like you have Sydney, Australia, okay, and then now you have Sydney, Montana. It's like, really? Ay. Okay. So the highest rated rice down here is 19. Taking cans to there, but the external contract is taking paper down to Salt Lake. Lewiston, Idaho, which is a little bit there. I'm wanting to keep above that's taking corn. Okay, now, of course, that's in Wyoming. No, we'll take this one. Where'd you come from, buddy? I didn't see you. Or not see you come out that way. Yeah, I have a hard time trying to turn in this with this. Well, anywho. But I know it's one of those things where it's just like, you know, and then, you know, and you look at all of that, and it's like it's sad to, like I said earlier, it's sad to see. It's just sad to see places like you know, sad to see that when people lose, not being able to get the food that they desire, get the food that they need, and I don't like to see people be homeless. I don't like seeing people like that, but it's so much really hard to do that. No, I know it's telling me to do that, but we're gonna do something. Yep. And then I'm just gonna go right around. There's no way we're going up that way. Okay, let's go pick up our thing from in back. Back. And maybe we'll get somewhere. Let's just hope that they get, like, if they do South Dakota, let's just hope that they get it. Yep, typical graffiti. Typical graffiti on the trains. Of course. But it's just, you know, it's like not releasing the Epstein files. It's like I said this before, but not releasing those Epstein files. Like, if you think that there's nothing wrong with it, or you think that there is nothing bad about not releasing the Epstein files, like, if you say, oh, well, we should release the Epstein files, there's nothing incriminating against anybody, then why don't we release it? Or why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And it's like, these people don't really seem to understand that, you know, if you don't release these files, you don't release these things, it's like, if you don't want to release them, and yet, like, you're all worried about, incriminating yourself. Well, guess what? If you're incriminating yourself, then why don't you release them? If you think that it's not gonna harm you or it's not gonna harm anybody, why don't you release them? It's like they can't release them because oh well now it's like it's a problem. It's like okay, well, you all promised that you would release the Epstein files on day one, or release them within your term, and yet they're not releasing them now. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous to see that. It's absolutely ridiculous to see people, like, it's like, it's like you can't really release a file and then expect the files to actually be out there and out there to support the community, or out there to destroy the community, or out there to, you know, if you're out there to, there's no way I can stop in the middle of the intersection. And it's like if you can't do a darn thing and doing what's right and releasing the things that are absolutely deserving, it's like, why did you talk about it in the first place? If you cannot release them now, you're basically lying. You lied to the constituents. You're a consistent liar. And lying is one of those things where I don't like when people lie. And if you're consistently lying, like I know I lie too. I'm not saying I'm perfect at my life, but I try to make corrections. I try to, you know, do things where, you know, sometimes, like, yes, like I'll tell you, it's like, oh well, you know, you say I don't like rap. It's like, that's an understatement. I never say that. I say that I don't like rap entirely. I'm not a big fan of rap. I didn't say I don't. I say I listen to every kind of genre. I dabble a little bit in rap. I don't listen to a lot of rap because rap's not my. I don't like listening to rap too constantly. It's like if it comes on the radio, I'll listen to it. If it comes there, it's like, okay. And it's like a lot of people say, oh well, you say I don't like Elvis, or I don't like this. It's like, no, I like some of these times, like, there are bands out there I won't listen to generally. And some of those, like, if you are out there not supporting the LGBTQ community, then I'm like, you're out there hurting on the community. I don't go out there and listen to your music. I don't go out there and listen to support you or support the music that you make or the music that you listen to. It's like, I don't go out there and I don't go out there and buy, like, I try to take a little bit into consideration where if a company does not actively support the community, I won't go out there and buy it if they don't actively do it. You know, and that's the thing. Is like, I don't go out there and actively go out there and buy. Like, the one exception I do make is if I am purchasing goods for home to eat. I don't take that. I take that into less consideration. You know, I look at places where I say, okay, I'm gonna go out there and I will. Food is one of those things where it's a necessity to live on. You can't just go out there and say, oh well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna support a business. Well, when it comes time that you have to, like, you're poor and you're gonna have to buy cheap. You're gonna have to find a place to buy things. It's one of those things where I will actively, like, okay, I will actively go out and where I'll go out and I will actively make So, I am happy that I'm able to utilize, you know, that I am happy with the life of Linux. I'm happy with this. I'm just kind of really still figuring out a little bit of Linux. I'm not going into actively customizing everything. It's like, I like Windows. I've used Windows for ever. And Windows is absolutely my favorite. Interesting. But it's one of those things where I go out there and I play pretty much. I've got out there and I'm like, it's for the same thing. It's like, yes, I know that Microsoft supports the community. I don't care if I play Microsoft games, because as long as that, but I'm just not liking the way that they're doing. I don't want AI built into my operating system. I don't want AI built into it. I want to be able to have less of a control on AI. I want to have less control from that and more control on my own. I want to be able to have the freedom to choose. And I'm like, okay, great. Valve is supporting Linux. Valve is making gaming more easier for me to switch over. I'm like, okay, great. Games that support anti-cheat, that aren't supported on Linux, it's like, okay, these companies are gonna realize that if Linux starts becoming a viable option, they're gonna have to start supporting Linux. And supporting Linux is absolutely, hold on guys, I need to switch back over here, because Linux is one of those things where I support every ounce of Linux. I support every facet of the open source, and I'm big into open source. You know, Universal Blue supports the LGBTQ community. They always, like, as long as you're able to support the community, as long as you're able to be out there to support us and support the community, I am happy to support you as a developer, happy to support you as a operating system, happy to support your game company. You know, these guys, like, yes, there are some stuff where, you know, some games I will buy just because out of pure joy. Like, you know, SCS Software, I don't think they support the community, but they are one of those things where I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind that I play this. They don't mind. I'm like, there are some times where if I find out that your company does not comes out and says that you're not going to support the LGBTQ community anymore, we're basically going to support the opposite party, we're going to hate you, or you have been actively hating us for years and we know it actively, then I'm not going to support you. It's like, I don't go out and eat Chick-fil-A because they don't support the LGBTQ community. Those are the places I don't. Places that don't support the LGBTQ community are places I don't eat at. At establishments in traditionally established places, if I come out and find out that you do not, then yeah. Okay, then I'm not gonna go out there and support your business line. You know, those are the things. Thanks, Jaden, for joining. So that's why I don't go out and actively look at, do I go out and support a community, do I go out and do a lot of things, and it's like if you guys enjoy the content here, it's always great to support me by hitting that subscribe here on YouTube, hitting that like on Trovo, being followed here on TikTok as well, because you know being followed is and free on Trovo and TikTok, and being subscribed here on YouTube is absolutely fantastic. As soon as Stream Elements can come out, I said I should contact them. I should let them know as soon as you guys can support Stream Elements on Linux. I will absolutely, told them, I said I'd absolutely switch over from Microsoft to Linux on my laptop. I would go out and I said, okay, well, we're going to do that. We're going to basically back up a lot. This time I would back up my entire computer. I would back it up completely, and then I would switch it over to a different, maybe I switch it over to a one that is absolutely, I would look at maybe finding a different OS, like experiment a little bit with Linux. Go on VMs and experience it a little bit before I make that jump. And say, okay, which is going to be one that I can use primarily for gaming, but look at all the gaming distros, find out what's better, find out is CachyOS a decent thing, or find out what other gaming distros out there, and go for it. Just dive in and figure out another OS, and have two different OSs, and maybe, and it's like I can bypass this one, which is good. Actually, we're almost to Idaho Falls. Maybe we'll see where we go from here when we go to Idaho Falls. That's going to... What was down there? Huh. What was down there in Butte, Montana? Is that Butte, Montana, or is that Butte, Idaho? No, that's still, we're still in Montana. Idaho doesn't switch over until it's right around here. Okay. Fair enough, but for me, I always like I did not mean to do that, but okay. I'm always this kind of person that I'm not like, okay, I'm done using Windows because AI is the prevalency, and Windows Recall, being like I'm not gonna go out there and use Windows when, I'm very privacy conscious a little bit. I'm not like, I use Privacy Badger on my browsers. Privacy Badger does help prevent some trackers and stuff. It's not perfect and everything. When I'm on Windows, I use Malwarebytes to control my operating system. Guess what? I installed Malwarebytes on here thinking, oh, great, okay, I can use it on here. Well, no. So if you're thinking about antivirus, there will be at some point antivirus software is what you should really do. Like trying to figure it out, you know, if there's 3 things that I want to be able to happen is I want to be able to basically, if I own Stream Elements, I would absolutely, if I knew how to program pretty well, I would actually probably take Stream Elements and try to port it over to Linux and try to get it set up so that I can actively continue to give people the opportunity to continue to support Linux, to give Stream Elements that opportunity to work right out of the box, right out of the gate. Stream Elements seems to be like I do open sourcing, you know, but I would do it and have that opportunity. It's like, I don't know why Stream Elements, like, if they're active, what they should really do is take into consideration that we have AI now. They can utilize, okay, maybe we can have it to run on Linux, figure out a way to get it to run, and just go from there. By implementing Linux and utilizing that process to, okay, they can try to maybe figure out a way to port Stream Elements to get it to run on Linux, like figuring out how I can do it to improve the Linux-based, to make it better, to basically just kind of give us that, and then kind of utilize that when updates and things, where they can update it, and when new things come out for Stream Elements, it may take a little bit for them to get it here, but they can do that and get it to support Linux, and I think it would be a lot easier for them to do it. You know, OBS already works on Linux. All they have to do is just figure out what can we do to make it, bring it over. Use AI, use it to your advantage. Like, you don't know Linux off the bat, you can do that now. AI is going to help you out, going to help you bring good software to Linux, bring you that opportunity. And I think AI is not something I'm scared of. I just don't want my system to be AI heavy based on AI. I don't want to be always online, having to use an AI to always be online and stuff. And AI is scary a little bit, guys, but it's not like it's actively going to be there. It's like, I feel like that working in like a musician or a producer, you got audio, you like stuff like what else you got? You got audio, you've got you got Dona AI, which is what Flash use. You've got Suno. You've got a lot of these things that, you know, and you got a lot of these things, like AI's taken over on that front. We are soon going to have developers where it's going to take, you know, where we have these developers, you know, I feel like that the more developers that we have with AI, like, of course, when you use AI, and stuff. And I know it's telling me, oh, I have to go 70 miles, the minimum is 70. But I can't go more than 65. actually, it might be truck, might be 70. It's just one of those things where, hey Dante, how are you doing? It's just like being able to, figure out, how to get AI and how to actually use it to an advantage rather than use it as a hindrance or use it as something as a bad thing. Like, AI can be used in bad way. We gotta pull up here into this way station. Don't get it why now, but alright. But it's like you can use everything to your advantage in some light, in some way, shape, or form. But it's really one of those things where you can't just rely on AI. You have to be able to figure out, can you do it on your own? And if I can't figure out how to do it on my own, that's when I should say, okay, let's go ask AI. Use that as your as a third resource. Okay, first off, go and see what people say online, find Linux boards, do that first, then take AI as your, if you can't find, basically, if you know how to do it, that's your first resource, if you know, for it, but then your second resource should be, yep. Should be there, and then your second resource should go look in Linux boards, search online before you start using AI. AI should become your secondary, your third option on a lot of things. A lot of things. And don't just rely on Linux as your daily driver either. Your Linux shouldn't be like you should rely on, pick your daily driver. Don't just rely on Microsoft for 24/7 on everything, because Microsoft is in there for their own interests and stuff. Linux is not. Most Linux distros are in it for themselves, but there a lot of it is open source, and a lot of it is I had to unplug my headphones now because of that. Any good? And it's always pick your poison, pick your decision. Don't just rely on Don't switch over to Linux because Linux is everything. Linux is not perfect. Nor is Windows, nor is Mac. No, like you are hacked. You're gonna get hacked. Well, guess what? You're gonna get hacked. You're gonna experience. Just say, oh, I'm just gonna switch because I'm gonna jump right on it. Don't jump in. Like if you've been on a certain platform, don't jump right on in to another one. Make sure that you know what you're doing. Make sure, don't go to Apple if you think that you're not gonna be able to do it. It's like don't jump to Apple because Apple, like if you're a Microsoft user, stay on Microsoft. Like most of your applications are 90%. Like if you're a gamer, don't switch over to thanks buddy Evans, don't switch over to Mac. I will tell you this right now, if you're not a esports person and you're not a and you're on Mac, don't switch over to Mac. And not on Mac, but if you're an esports person or something, make sure you just double check your stuff to make sure it runs on these operating systems. But if you are on a Windows and you're going over to Linux and you're not an esports person, you'll switch right on easy on over. It'll be easy for you to do if your major is playing a game. If you're wanting to create like this and build like a small form factor box, you know, like one of those things where you can use this. What I really want to do is, I really want to get one of those things where I want to build a computer where Linux is a good operating system, but I want it to be built where I can use it as like a DVD player, Blu-ray player, use it as my one-stop for, where hey, I want to go watch Netflix, I can go into Netflix and watch Netflix on it. I can go and watch my physical media, physical movies on it, through Blu-ray, and I want to do things like that at some point, doing that, and not have to be slowly rely on where I can do that, and I can also have it for my gaming, and have it for that, and that's one of those things where that would be nice for me to do, and have it primarily be for my media center. Build it like a I would build it like a DVD player or a Blu-ray player that I can play with. You know, that would be something that I would love to do. That I can go in and play. You know, I can put DVDs. I can watch movies. You know, I can input music CDs. Now, of course, caramba, did I go on the wrong side of the freeway? Of course I did. Right. Well, that's what I get for... not paying quite attention. Okay. This is really dumb. It'll take me back to Butte. I just need... Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get out of here. Yeah, I had to come back. I had to come all the way back to Butte. I had to cancel going down to Idaho Falls. Anyway, I tried to see how far I could go, but I ended up failing that portion. So anyway, we can save over here. I could load back to that point, but I think we'll be fine. But anyways, guys, if you guys, wanting to see more content from me, make sure you guys are followed here on TikTok. If you guys are watching, remember, thanks, Buddy Evans. Remember to hit that follow, guys, here on TikTok. TikTok is absolutely where you can watch my past live streams over on YouTube. For free. TikTok, Trovo for a subscription service. If you want to see some of my past stuff. Because I know not everybody has Trovo, not everybody has YouTube. And, you know, you guys can do that. If you guys are so inclined, you guys can also hit that subscribe on YouTube. Make sure when you subscribe on YouTube, hit that bell notification with the all. And then if you're on TikTok, you guys can send me gifts and stuff. You guys can send me gems, elixirs on Trovo. It really does greatly appreciate you guys are supporting the channel by doing so. So anyway, I will tell you this. Tonight we are going to be playing. I'm actually going to go. We're going to switch up, and I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a half-hour break, maybe. Maybe I'll take enough of a small break that I'll come back. Tonight, I'm going to hop on and play some Call of Duty at 7 o'clock tonight. Maybe I might play it at 8. We'll see how far things go, but I want to get back on and play a little bit early tonight. But I want to hop on about 7, play some Grief for a little bit, and then we'll play that. So if you want to see Call of Duty, guys, remember, the schedule pretty much is every day, afternoons, anywhere between 3 and 4 to about 5:30. 6, I don't try to go till 6, I try to go till 5:30. You guys can't do that. And then you guys can also not only do that. That's where I used to do YouTube in the afternoon, always, Monday through pretty much every day except for Saturday for that, unless Barnacules Nerdgasm is not online. I always make sure that I'm always there for the Saturday thing. For it. Then there is, my night streams. My night streams are always, okay? Always 9, 10 o'clock till about 2 a.m. start time, right around there. I try to be on my 9. Sometimes like last night, I forget. But we are going to get in tonight. I'm not going to play American Truck. I'm not going to play Euro Truck right away. I am going to play Call of Duty tonight, right away. And then at 12 o'clock, I will come in and we'll play some American Truck again. Or we might play some Halo. Or we might just stay and play some Call of Duty because Scarlet's on until whenever. So anyway, yeah, and that's pretty much every day except, we start 9 till 10, and then if I get on at 10 o'clock, I'm actually going to start this. If I start at 9, it's going to be 9 till 10:30. It's going to be like American Truck except for Thursday and Sunday. It's like, I don't get it. I don't like it when people do that, but Thursday and Sunday are the only days that I will have that 9 till 10:30 where I'll play a American Truck Simulator, Halo at night, and then I will switch over and play a Fortnite or Call of Duty at these directed times through that at 10:30 till 2, except for Saturday. I will play Call of Duty or Fortnite. For that, Fortnite's usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But because we had this event going on this week, tomorrow, tomorrow will be the end of Call of Duty. We'll be doing Fortnite for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, possibly even Monday. I know that because we had this event going on, we might only do like that because we gotta get into Fortnite. I gotta get the Battle Pass stuff for that. I'm done with the Battle Pass in Call of Duty. But anyway, so yeah. So anyway, today's video is sponsored by today's sponsor is Christian Satori. Alright, you guys, today's sponsor is Christian Satori. Christian Satori. You can go use the code link. You guys can buy some of the best shoes around. You guys can buy some of the best shoes around. Canvas. You guys can also classic black canvas. So much canvas. Cool, you guys can also buy it in fuchsia. Cool. So gear. Much cool shit. Trust me. Cool gear. These are a fantastic brand. Trust me. But you guys not only can you buy shoes, you can also buy. You guys not only can you buy shoes, you can also buy some cool clothing gear as well. Clothing does include some if you guys want to use gear as well. But code if you guys want to use ROGs at checkout, the code Christian Satori. MattyRocks at checkout /gaming MattyRocks.com put /gaming MattyRocks put gaming MattyRocks when you check out put gaming. Now remember you might be able to get 10% off your order today. Now remember you might be able to get 15% off with the code off your order today, but only if you buy 2 products. Remember the code. But you can get only if you buy 2 products. Remember cool puffer jackets. You can get some cool cool socks, squint cool puffer jackets, cool
gear,
cool socks, squint t-shirt, cool.
Everything
cool
here
gear.
is not
Super expensive,
remember,
but it is not inexpensive either.
everything here is not
so
super expensive,
you guys remember,
but it is not inexpensive either.
Down there.
So you guys remember, links down in the down there.
Zatori.com/gaming Matterrocks. Use code
Zatori
gaming Matterrocks at checkout
/gaming Matterrocks. Use
5% off
code
your order.
gaming Matterrocks at checkout to get 5% off your order.
Alright guys, we will catch you guys